Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Candid Coffee Chat. I'm sure none of my guests will be doing coffee. I'm still doing coffee. I drink coffee all day, so I still have my coffee, which some people will be thinking at this time of the night. And so I have two delightful ladies. They are my friends, they are my sisters, and they are zooming in from different places. I have Nekki Ononye, who is in Calgary, in Canada. And then I have Amy Horan, who is in Maryland, USA, and we're in three different time zones. So this is going to be very interesting. Hopefully, nobody's feeling sleepy. This is the night. All right, well, welcome. And our topic for today is really well being. And so I wanted to have a conversation with the two of you. Nekki, for those of you, I'm sure you have seen her, herself and Amy have had chats with them before. Nekki is a mom of two. She's married and she's a mom of two, a 16-year-old and 12-year-old. Amy is also married and a mom of four. Your twins are 10, right?
Yeah, they're 10.
The oldest is 15 and the youngest is how old?
5.
5. Okay, so
it keeps me on my toes.
I know, cutting across different, age categories.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining me today. And so I'm just going to throw out this question. What is one thing that you do for well-being? And when I say well-being, it could be physical, and I know they're kind of connected, so I don't even want to separate them. Physical, mental, emotional well-being. There may be many things you do, but what is one thing that you're intentional about doing to maintain as well as enhance your well-being? And any of you can take it away.
So I'm gonna start. First of all, Olihe, thank you for having us on today's chat. This is always fun. This is always interesting and a wonderful time to reconnect with sisters and just to talk. I love it. So thanks for having us. But for me, a big part of my life is exercise. It's the one thing that I must do. I might skip a couple days here and there, but I can't make it day 3 without, doing my workouts and exercise, cardio, strength training. It's one thing that I think is really important, not just maintaining physical health and well-being, but also mental health, emotional health. Um, I just like doing my exercise.
Okay, so I wanted to also ask because I've mentioned that you're a mom and you have kids this different ages, and so I wanted to ask, how are you able to maintain that? And the kids didn't just drop from the sky. I mean, there were times there were babies, there were times there were toddlers. Have you maintained an exercise regimen through these different phases, and how have you been able to do that?
I have maintained it. I'm that mom with the jogging stroller. And I'm that mom with the baby carrier and the twins. One in front, one in the back, and I'm running. So I have maintained an exercise regimen through as long as I can remember, long time. 25 years. I don't know, long time. I'm dating myself now. I've maintained an exercise category since I was born 25 years ago.
Okay.
So I don't date myself.
All right. I will come back. Yeah, go ahead.
Again? But
no, go ahead. I was going to ask a follow-up question, but I was going to go to Nekki before I come back to you with a follow-up question.
But with the kids, it's for me, it's just making time. It's usually I'm a morning person. I start off, we're talking about this early. I start off my day early in the morning, as early as 4. My first thing is time with the Lord, and my next thing is workout. So it's that regimen for me. I started before the day hits, and I can't fit it in anymore. Okay. That's how it works for me.
Okay, I will also mention, because Amy mentioned 4 a.m., she sleeps early too. So don't think that she's losing out on sleep. She goes to bed early so that she wakes up at that time. You can't have it both ways. You can't
have it both ways.
And wake up by 4 a.m. That's not going to work for well-being.
No, you can't have it both ways.
All right, Nekki, we will go to you. What is it that you do for well-being that you're intentional about?
Yeah, so I'm going to echo Amy in saying thank you once again, Olihe, for having me here. And of course, it's a pleasure to be on this panel again with Amy. I wished I could say exercise like Amy, but unfortunately, no. I'm not even going to pretend about the exercise part. It takes a lot of willpower for sure. So I'm hoping to get more tips from Amy to know how she really keeps this routine going. Um, for me, I think one critical thing I do in terms of maintaining my well-being is pretty much listening to my body.
Mm.
And that might sound really complex, but it's what I do. Yeah. And I mean, you can think about it holistically from those different angles. Yeah, sometimes you kind of know that your body just doesn't feel right. You don't
Mm.
feel healthy. You feel like, obviously, after this holiday period, oh my goodness, I'm like, oh, what did you do to yourself? Like you're climbing the stairs and you're panting. And so
Mm.
I listen to my body physically, emotionally, mentally. I try to do that, and I do what is relevant for me to kind of reverse whatever my body's telling me along those lines.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask you a follow-up question, like, because I think this is so critical. A lot of times, women and moms especially just want to go through do, and we're not listening to our bodies. I will tell you, I don't, I probably don't. So I'm learning something new, like listening to your body and knowing, for instance, would you say maybe when to rest? Because there are times when your body is telling you you need to
Yeah,
stop. You need to stop.
yeah.
Okay. And so you don't, at that time, so, well, let me just give it back to you. Just give us an example of how you have listened to your body and how you responded, if your body was telling you something.
Yeah, like earlier, I just kind of mentioned about the physical stuff. I know with all the, fun that comes with the Christmas period, more get-togethers, eating, not really following your regular routine around meals and everything. Um, Afterwards, I definitely didn't feel right in my body. I just kind of felt the need to detox my body. I felt the need to move around more. I just needed to lighten up myself again because it was back to the grind after New Year. Yeah, I needed to get back into work. I have a really busy work schedule, and even with the kids going back to school, with the sports and all that, I needed to be active and agile, right? So I had to start correcting my eating habits and, getting more physical, just getting my headspace out of that holiday mode, right? Um, so this is kind of on the physical end of things. If we have to talk about like emotionally or mentally, somehow there's an overlap when we talk about emotions and like mental well-being.
Yes.
Um, so on those grounds, I'll say I listen to my body in the sense that I know when, you know, my mood is changing.
Mm.
If I'm kind of feeling a bit down, um, I'm trying to reflect to know why my mood shifted from, oh, I'm fine now to I'm a bit off. I just want to, stay in my own space, or I don't really feel like doing what I typically would be doing at a particular time. So it tells me, okay, there's something going on, and it's time for me to really listen and reflect and figure out what changed, what shifted, right? Um, yeah, so along those lines, I just kind of try to manage. Sometimes if I'm really tired, I might have brought work home to do and things like that. But if I know that I'm brain tired, first of all, you don't want to do work when you're in that state of mind because you're not being very productive, right? But I have to tell myself I need to be in a better state of mind to even do better the next day. So I have to consciously tell myself, you know what? You have this work. It's not an emergency. It can wait. So
Mm.
sometimes I just have to prioritize and know the things I have to bank for later, just so I can recuperate and be in a better headspace to do the stuff.
Mm.
I hope
Thank you.
that's not too complex,
I
but
know I am just learning so much. That's what I'm saying because I'm that person who just bulldozes through things, like I would have a to-do list and like I'll just go, 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 you know? Like I like this whole thing of just more self-reflection,
yeah,
self-awareness.
yeah,
Self-awareness,
absolutely.
like why did my mood change? I just why yeah, what is going on? Like introspection. What is going on? What do I need to do? So I'm learning a lot. Thank you so
And
much.
just to say something, only here, it could be even something as basic as you just realize you're getting a bit more cranky. Like your kids come to talk to you and
You're
you're
irritable.
you're a bit irritable. You're like, oh, and you're just a bit more snappy than usual. And it's not about anything they've done, right? So that's kind of a red flag for you to know there's something just not right with you, right? When there's no obvious reason for
Yes.
being that irritable, upset for no reason.
This is so good. Amy, you're nodding. I was wondering whether you have any
You
any
know,
thoughts just listening to Nekki, whether anything's come to you.
it did because Nekki was talking about listen to your body. And if you listen to what she said, even though she started with I'm not gonna try exercise and all that, but she did talk about,
Mhm. Yeah.
moving more. So Nekki, even though you think you're not exercising, you really are.
Now I feel better.
You're you're moving more, you're eating right, you're doing the holistic approach to what is physical wellness, right?
Yeah.
There are many benefits. She hit the nail on the head with listening to your body. Your body tells you, oh, you're sluggish. There's just something not right. You're sluggish. And with what she was saying, for me, it would be okay, I when I exercise, I notice it improves my mood, it
Mhm.
improves my energy level, it helps me feel better sometimes when I'm not feeling well. But also the reverse, there are times when I'm not feeling well that exercise is a thing I should not be doing. My
Yes.
body needs rest. So that ties in with what Nekki was saying about being attentive and listening to one's body. There are times when I feel, yes, I slept, but I still feel exhausted. I need
Mhm.
better sleep. So I'm not waking up at 4 today. I'm gonna try to sleep a little longer. It's the day I'm gonna skip my exercise, but I'm gonna make up for it in a different way. I'm gonna walk later. I'm gonna do something later. But listening to one's body, so you're not going to one extreme, and trying to hit an extreme, and being unwise about balance. So
Mm.
Nekki is pulling us back to
To the
balance,
core. Yes.
to the
Yes.
core, back
Yes.
to
Yes.
balance. Am I
I
eating right? Am I sleeping right? Is my mood right? Is my health right? Am I exercising right? Am I moving right?
Oh, I
Yeah.
love it because
Great
when we say
summary,
what
Amy.
one thing that you do, at times people think it's like a law, like if I don't do this thing, then the whole world is going to crash. But just knowing, I feel like it's really the way Jesus also operated. They would ask for because you had like the Pharisees decided that were so legalistic about things
Legalistic,
that you
yeah.
would just do something that didn't seem to line up, but that was what was needed at that time. So, what is the need? Yes, there are things that you do, but you then need to listen to your body to know, okay, maybe not today. I like
Yep.
that. Maybe not today because,
Yeah.
this is what my body is saying to me.
Telling me, yeah.
Yes, it's telling me. And I like about even with food too, because sometimes you begin to feel sluggish and maybe you think about, okay, what have I been eating? Have I been
Hmm.
hydrating? So
Yeah.
I see it, so applicable in so many different ways. Well,
Absolutely.
ladies, thank you so much. I don't know if you have any final thoughts because I feel like as we're having conversation, more things are coming to mind. Any final thoughts before I let you
I do
have your
have
night?
something, because especially as ladies and moms, and we're just general achievers, right? God has just made us with the zeal, the desire to get it done, get out, take care of our kids, take care of our families, take care of our work. And we just continue to give and we continue to pour. And sometimes we pour and we drain and we don't take care of the vessel. I don't want to sound cliche-ish or too,
Oh, that's
spiritual
what
or
it is.
anything,
It's the
but
vessel.
we don't take care of the vessel. I learned a long time ago, someone actually told me, a lady, and she told me this in good faith, and she said, "You work too hard," which I'm not condemning hard work, but she helped me see something. She said, if anything should happen to you, I give your work max 2 weeks. There'll be someone in your seat.
Yeah,
Your parents will
absolutely.
get a flag. Your family will get a flag. I'm military. You guys will get a flag and you get some good commendations and some good comments, but there will be someone in your seat. And that has stayed with me, how important it is to make sure that I am giving, like the Bible says, I'm doing as unto the Lord, but I am also taking care of this vessel, whether it's by eating. So making time to set priorities for what's important. And if nothing else is important, I am important because I have to be whole in order to give.
Hmm, that
I,
is so.
I think Olehe knows one of my favorite things to say is you can't pour from an empty cup. So that
Yes,
just brings it back to what you're saying.
Yes.
absolutely,
I
Nekki,
mean,
absolutely.
it's a mantra for me, and I run with that. You have to self-care, and I always say that self-care is not selfishness. That's the most important thing for people to know, because sometimes when you kind of say this way, sounds like, oh, okay, are you going to? But then you're really doing it for other
Oh,
people, right?
yes.
You're doing it for other people. And if we have to go back to even the airplane safety guidelines and all that, way to tell you to wear your own mask first before you even put on a mask for your child. They know you need to be alive for you to save your child or whoever you want to save, right? So yeah, Amy, I love the way you summarize these things. It's amazing. So thank you for that message you just brought up right now.
Thank you.
Well, I want to say thank you to both of you. And that's such a good word to end with. You can't pour from an empty cup. And
Absolutely.
self-care is not being selfish. Well, thank you, ladies. And I'll look forward to having another chat with you really soon.
Thanks.